local high school soccer, only on VTV Channel 6. Live coverage is presented by L&L Motor, Ashley Regional, The Advisor Group, Moon Lake Electric, Pilot Logistics, and Strata Networks. Uintah Utes, Union Cougars.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the beautiful Roosevelt City, where the Union Cougars are hosting the Uintah Utes in female women's soccer today. And this is new for VTV. With me today is Jared McCackney, and we're excited to bring to you the high school soccer action. And we did this in the spring with the boys, but interesting, here we go to the girls. Union is a program that's had a rough year. They haven't won as many games. The Utes are doing great in region, and you can see by their records that we had up on the screen that the two programs are on kind of different sides. But as we've talked about dozens of times, when it's Union versus Uintah, throw out the records, throw out the whole season. They always get up for this game. Doesn't matter where the respective programs are. And so you can see today we've had a lot of rain. Currently right now, just overcast, beautiful temperature for a game. But the field is going to be wet and slippery. So the keys to the game today, Union, possession. They want to keep the possession. You know, a lot of times they'll lose that possession. It turns a turnover, quick counter strike. They want to stay calm and collected and take shooting opportunities whenever they come, whether they're 30 yards out or they're close to the keeper box, take that shot. Uintah, always strong on offense. They want to keep that up. They want to have the teamwork. And a lot of times, you know, you get into situations where they want to do it all by themselves, but use those short passes. And by doing that with a strong offense and teamwork, control the game, control the tempo. And they have the center fielders to do that. They can certainly take those. I want to thank everyone that's watching live. This game is streaming live at strata.tv. And also remind you that we will rebroadcast on VTV Cable Channel 6 and in high definition on Cable Channel 706. Visit our website, vtvchannel6.com, for season broadcast schedule and coverage details for not only women's soccer, but also football, and then, of course, in the wintertime when we get to the basketball coverage. So, and today's we'll want to show you the girls' soccer coverage this year. We have today's game. We'll also get to see Morgan at Uintah on the 18th, Union at Uintah on the 25th for the rematch of today's game, and then we'll get to see Morgan at Union, see how the two programs compare against Morgan. So you can hear out there the crowd, and we'll notice that it's the boys' sports program has come here to support their girls, and they're already getting rowdy. And one of my favorite things is how the soccer is on the rise in the States, and of course with the World Cup over the summer and the rise of the MLS, soccer is becoming more and more every day part of American culture, whereas it used to be football, now football is taking its place. Well, we're just a few minutes from the action, and you can see the coach is giving last-minute instructions to both their programs. Got the shade tents over. Want to thank our sponsors that helped bring this game to you today. L&L Motor is one of the key sponsors for Uintah Sports program, the Uintah Basin sports coverage. L&L Motor, people you know, people who care, and they'll also help bring the highlight reels to us today. We're just a few minutes away from the action. One of our favorite parts about soccer is the running clock. So now with the rosters in hand, referees walking out onto the field. And Jared, what are your thoughts as far as, you know, where are the two programs at? We obviously see that the Lady Utes competing in a lot more of the games. Union on the harder side, but you know, as we've talked about that before, throw out the records when it's Union Uintah.
Well, absolutely throw out the records when it's Union and Uintah playing together. I did kind of go over the rankings or that they've played. It looks like Union's played a couple of tough schools in their preseason, and as well as Uintah. So I think, it's going to be a match today.
It always is. And now you've coached and played soccer for many, many years. When you get a challenging field conditions like today, a lot of rain, the ground's soft, it's slick, what adjustments do you need to make, and how does that affect what these girls are going to be able to do today?
Well, I noticed the grass was really long, and they cut it, and so it's just setting there. The clippings are setting on the grass. That's going to slow the ball down. With the rain that's been coming today, they're going to be slipping and sliding. And really, you tell the players, no game is as important as you physically, so don't get hurt out there. Don't be crazy. Go play the game, but don't get hurt. So
don't get hurt, don't get crazy. But I think on a wet field and a soggy field, it favors the offense.
The ball will skip on that. Now, like I said, the grass is kind of tall, though, so I don't know how much it will skip in this game today. But it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and the keepers especially. You take some of those hard line drive shots that skip in front of the keeper. And the keeper, is usually used to a ball bouncing a certain way, but off this wet surface, anything could happen.
The advantage is definitely for the offense in that case. I mean, the goalkeeper has got a big job when the wet ball is sliding off the grass, and even with your hands. I mean, those gloves are really good, but when the ball's wet, watch out.
Yeah, and you hear the Union Cougar crazies. They came from the football team to support the girls' soccer. I'm not sure if it's that they like the girls or they like the soccer, but they're here nonetheless, right? And you heard as the Cougars took the field, the crowd went nuts, and here we are with the ball set at center field. Looks like the Cougars are going to have the kickoff, and we're about to start the first 40 minutes of action. I want to thank another of our sponsors that brought this game to us today, the Advisor Group, financial planning, benefit packages, insurance, or retirement plans. We have a specialized team to help meet your needs. We are the firm of firms, the Advisor Group, and they're going to help us here with the kickoff. Now, Jared, Uintah has a strong midfield. They really know how to control the tempo, get their strikers involved in the game, and they're looking at the keys to their game as strong offense.
Absolutely. Most of these girls are sophomores that are playing on this team right now. There's a few seniors that are playing, but those sophomore girls have played a lot of games. They've been going fall and spring for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, they've been involved with the Octane program, and interestingly, the Octane program involved some of the Union players as well. And so they've played together, and now they have to compete against one another in the high school action. So good, strong defense here to start. And both teams are turning the ball over a little bit, and here we see that quick, short passing that we expect from the Uintah offense. And that ball just seems to kind of be doing weird things. It's popping up weird. It's taking weird hops off their feet. And there's a turnover right there on the upper third, and then Union gets the ball back. See that first skip right there. The pass came across the center field, and the striker went to hit the ball, and it went long on her, Jared.
You're going to notice here, and I don't know if you noticed on the left of your screen there, but the Uintah defense pulls hard and tries to get an offside trap occasionally, and so you'll see that throughout the game, where all of a sudden all the defenders, and you can see them. I mean, this girl is completely offside. There's the call.
It worked to perfection in that case. Occasionally you'll get your hand caught in the cookie jar. The ball will be hit right at the perfect time, and it takes 4 of the backs to understand and do that in synchronization, because if you leave one back and it doesn't work, and then you're in trouble.
Absolutely. Gary has done a good job of not making it their game plan to totally pull them off sides.
Oh, and there's a nice pass to the center. But even better defense by the center back, and I didn't see who the number is for the center back for Union. But a nice cross, but then better defended. Oh, and there's a shot in the keeper, right at the keeper. And Union may be fortunate that the shot was with the left foot and went directly at the keeper from the 18-yard line. That was actually a nice strike considering that the Union player was right on her hip pocket. So ball goes the outside here, but no one to receive. And that outside halfback has to do so much running up and down the field. They have to always be attack-minded and then get back on defense, or they're going to take the wrath of the head coach.
So that we've played on the Union defensive end most of this, first few minutes here. I think Union is going to do a good job if they can get the ball outside of that. I mean, it's such a hectic time when you're in your defensive third to try and get that ball out and play some offense.
It is, and sometimes when you're outmatched physically. There's another shot, chip to the corner. Oh, and it's just long. And Uintah had a runner come into the far post, but that was dangerous for Union. An opportunity there that just missed wide to the left, and not wide enough left, or the runner might have come in and tapped it in. So Union avoids a little bit of a disaster there.
Jamie Sprouse with a great drive in the side, the goal line, pops it back to Casey Christopherson. She had a good strike on the ball. They do that a lot. It's going to be a fun game.
And when you're talking about sophomores getting a lot of minutes, Jared, it's here we got a 3-year run, and also when you have sophomores that do that, then the younger girls that could come up, they get to watch how practices are done, how to do it right. They get trained, by these girls that are going to have 3 years starting under their belts. This could be an impressive run for the Uintah program here for the next 3 or 4 years. Something to look forward to. And you see this defensive-minded stance that the Cougars are taking. You'll see that on all levels of soccer, professional, high school, college. When the other team has the offensive skill set, they'll bring 9 or 10 back to defend. And, oh, boy, look at that ball. Again, you see that interesting skip. Keeper thought she had it. Bounces out, and Uintah maintains possession until they turn over right there.
And they just say that we're going to pack the defense on this game. We're going to pack the defense. We're going to make them work extra hard for it. If we can keep it 0-0 by halftime, we've done our job.
Yeah, you do that, and then you go for that 1 or 2 counterattacks, a half, and so many times it's effective because the offensive team, they have a turnover. They're maybe a little bit slow to turn around. Here comes an attack from the left side, well defended by Union. Uintah maintains possession. And I like to see this on the prep level, not afraid to play the ball backwards.
That is definitely an offensive attack. Boy, look at Jamie Sprouse cover some territory on that run. She was, for Uintah, she was going hard and was able to mess that up enough to get the ball and throw in for Uintah.
Yeah, she causes the turnover so that Uintah maintains possession. Oh, a little bit of danger there in the penalty box area, cleared by the Union defenders, out of bounds. The Uintah ball. Strata Networks is proud to partner with VTV to provide live coverage of high school sports. Live stream of today's game can be found at strata.tv, powered by Strata Networks.
Looks like Randy Kellogg with the throw-in on the outside for Uintah here.
So, Jared, obviously with your connection with Octane, you've got to know some of these girls and watch them grow up and mature. It's just such a neat program, and made me make a little plug here. They've got girls that are interested that might be watching tonight. This is a great opportunity for both programs, Union and Uintah, to get involved with Octane and do what these girls have done. Play fall, spring, summer. Basically 3/4 of the year it's available to play, right?
It is. I ran over to get these rosters, and the Uintah coach, Gary Redden, said, "Hey, don't leave. I got to talk to you." And he came up to me and he said, the coach for Union wants to talk to me after the game about Octane. She wants her players with the Union team to start getting involved and playing more Octane. So it's growing. It's growing. We have 210 players playing 3v3 this fall right now. So growing good, having fun, learning the game.
Yeah, and you're talking about 3v3 right now. That's a really good program for these kids because 11. When you have 11 on a side here, you don't touch the ball that often. That 3v3, they get a lot of touches on the ball. So soccer's growing in the Uintah Basin, and we see two programs here that have benefited from that. So a little turnover. The Utes will have the possession on the throw-in here.
Riley Putnam, great throw-in. She can throw it almost to the half-field line there for a.
Yeah, that's almost as effective as a corner kick when you're able to center the ball so well. Ball popped up in the air, fielded by the Union keeper, clears out. And with only the one striker up there, that ball has to get a little pressure from the offensive side of Union.
With Union playing that, I'm going to pack the defense mentality right now. They've got to be able to maintain possession of the ball at the midfield position because booting it up to that sole forward is pretty rough to try and have them maintain possession with 3 or 4 Uintah players around them.
3 fullbacks right beside her. And we've seen some good touches here from the Cougars right at midfield. But again, one striker up, so if it doesn't go perfectly to them, out it goes. Well, we're calling the game from a different perspective today with the rain. It brought us inside, so it's hard for us to see the numbers on both sides. So not calling the names intentionally, but just because of the situation of the game. But we get the benefit of watching this in the high definition and seeing what the crowd at home watching live at Strata.tv gets to see, Jared.
Yes, and high definition it is.
There's a nice, and that ball played just a little deep, and the keeper comes well out of the 18 to field that. And here comes a counterattack from the Utes, and nobody putting pressure up front. She takes a nice shot, goes to the left post, but the keeper plays that well.
Sophomore Brittany Hansen is who took that strike there, and coming right down the center of the field, have an open shot. Boy, we'll take that all day for Uintah.
Yeah, and you have a trailing defender, but nobody challenges up in her space. And so even though she was 30 yards out when she took that shot, that's if they're not going to defend you, that's a great shot by anybody's standards. Well defended again there. Been trying to find on Max Preps the Union roster. I can't find it, Jared.
Yeah, I looked on Deseret News, and all they had was Mikkel Goodrich. So whatever number she is their goal scorer for Union.
She's the one to watch out for. Ball hit to the
Uintah possessing the ball fairly well. Oh, turnover there. As soon as I say that, they lose the ball. But
and here comes the counterattack from Union. Look at that nice change of direction. Oh, and that ball gets through, and no flag up. Oh, wow. I got to tell you, that ball was just placed maybe a hair too long. That could have been a really interesting chance for the Cougars. And it was just misplayed by maybe 5 yards.
Well, the goalie got nervous for sure because they had 2 gals there from Union that were ready to put it in the net.
Oh, and what a nice touch.
Kylie Larson, number 3, with a great shot there. Seems like the Union Cougars goalkeeper is doing a very good job of staying in front of the ball. I mean, it's been to her several times now, and it seems like she's doing good.
Well, she's playing the right positions. I see her, and you've seen her covering the post, taking the angles away, and being in the right position even when the shots come through. But it's dangerous when there's this many shots on goal, and you keep shooting, and eventually one of those is going to go through.
Sideline ref allowed that to go. He was saying play on, so no offsides, and Union had a good opportunity there.
Well, and we saw that on the other one where there was the 3-on-2, and that ball was placed in the forward. Now you see that ball get through, and a beautiful play by the keeper from Union. Timed it perfectly and got there with the slide and knocked it out. Uintah maintains possession, but that could have been dangerous. Played backwards here. Union gets the ball on the turnover, pushes it forward to the midfielder. And there's a good touch. Plays it to herself.
You can hear the crowd yelling, "Watch the elbows," and I'm not sure if referees are seeing that or if they're seeing something different, but you can hear them yelling.
Oh, nice possession there with the left foot, and well played again by the Union keeper. She's doing a phenomenal job with the pressure that's put on. Unofficial count, I think that the Utes have had 6 shots on goal by, I should have been tallying it, but and after going back through, it's actually 7 shots on goal right now for the Utes. No shots on goal yet for the Cougars, Jared. A little 2-man game right here. No pressure, and she had more time than that, Jared, but just unloads with her left foot and only misses the outside post by about a yard.
You know, Kylie has typically played defense, and she's up playing a right midfield position, so shooting on the goal is a little bit different for her, and you're right. Could have taken another step or two, set up the ball, and then had that with maybe even her right dominant foot.
Yes, usually you're expecting that pressure so quick, so you go with that one time, and in that case, maybe her head was down, didn't realize how much space she had. No Cougar player within about 3 or 4 yards. Could have had a prep touch and a shot. Here's more pressure again by the Utes. And, the most active player on the field tonight right now has been the Union keeper. And she's playing out of her mind. Always in the right spot at the right time.
You know, it looks like that Union is playing a flat 4, and Uintah is taking most of their offensive shots before the 18. I mean, there's another one right there, outside the 18. And the defensive strength of Union there to prevent them from coming down into the 18 is obvious right now.
Yeah. What's the philosophy when you take a flat 4? What's the coach thinking in that philosophy? Why, there's so many different ways to approach that. Is that to force the other team into longer shots? Is that what they're thinking? Should they be giving more shape to that defense to kind of make it so there's not so many open shots deeper like that?
Most of the time with the flat 4, what you're trying to have, I didn't see that foul there, what happened, but looks like Uintah came in and took her feet out from under her, and so they awarded Union with the free kick there.
Yeah, it looked like to me, and we won't see the replay just because the action goes so quick, but the Union player had the space, and Uintah came in and charged and knocked her down. So, yeah, you definitely have the right to your space on the field, and in that case, you're right. There was a – anyway, going back to the philosophy on the defense.
So with a flat 4, what you're trying to accomplish is you're always giving backup to someone, and you've got 4 players to choose from, where maybe in a diamond you've only got 1 or 2 to help you. On a flat 4, you've got 4 people that are constantly backing up before they get to that goalie. And so it's a little bit more defensive of a defense, and allows the backup for help from your other 3 players.
So recovery, if you get beat, there's always somebody that can recover and help cover in that situation. But by doing that, again, you open up those midfield shots. Or
the midfield shots, as well as you've got 4 people down there that you're now eliminating one of those to be a part of the offensive attack and to be able to move forward. So most of the collegiate and not premier, but the MLS and the big time professional teams go with a flat 4.
And looking at this, and here comes boy, I wish I knew the name of the center back for Union, the one with the ball right now. She has really done a lot of damage and you see her coaching even on the field. A little one touch, and it gets in. I can't believe it. That's an incredible touch. But Brian, Jared, I call the football games with Brian, but it almost looked offsides. We're talking about this, and watch on the replay. The ball's up in the air, and just in the air, one touch, and it's a slow dribbler, finds the right corner, and it was one of the rare mistakes for the Union keeper tonight, and just a beautiful one touch into the corner. Wow, that was an incredible soccer play.
That was beautiful. I wish I could see who that was. Is the camera showing who that was? Laisha Lance is who that was, if that's who scored that goal. So
number 6, Laisha Lance. Okay.
Number 6, Laisha Lance. Elsha Lance. Sorry.
Wow, that happened so quickly. I didn't even, we were thinking that was just a clear, and then a nice, beautiful lob, a volley that landed perfectly on Lance's foot, then just perfect direction.
Yep.
Which is nearly impossible on a one-time volley in the air.
Yes. Just misdirected it just enough to make the goalie that was off of balance just a tiny bit.
Yeah, and you're right. If she had been more centered, she would have been able to reach with the left hand to get that, but she was charging to her right when the ball was struck. Wow. And it happens so quick in soccer, if you take your eyes off the screen for a half of a second, as I just did, you can miss. So we've seen Union and Uintah play 2 teams. They've both played Payson and they've both played Waterford. Now, Waterford's a tough team, and they beat Union 6-0, but Uintah was able to play them to a draw. Payson, Uintah won by 2, but Payson beat Union by 2, and I think that's kind of indicative of the 2 different records and what we see. But with a 1-0 lead here, 20 minutes gone in the first period, Union's playing Uintah very tough at this point, and I think there's a good no call, Jared. What do you think about that? I think that was a little bit of a dive.
Yes, the Union player was there. There might have been, some touches with the upper body, but, arms were not extended. I think that was just a slip on this wet grass and maybe, misstruck the ball.
Yeah, good no call by the referee. Would have been a dangerous position to have a free kick about 5 yards out of the 18. And I've noticed the team speed for Union is Uintah is very impressive. They get to the ball quickly, and then they control it. That first touch is a nice control. So far, with 20 minutes gone in the period, clearly the 2 different philosophies, pack it in and defend and bring everyone up on offense, and we see accepting the one beautiful touch. Union's philosophy is paying off very well. And when you're a fan for Union, it may not be as exciting, but it is an effective strategy, especially if you can get those counters. And they have had a couple opportunities. Balls played just a hair long.
Every year is different, and as I'm looking at Union's preseason games, they have had a lot of goals scored against them, and they're having a hard time scoring. And so, smart by the Union coach to say to yourself, you know what, we're gonna pack the defense. We're going to keep the scores from being so high and work on that first, and then maybe we can go to the offensive attack later in the season. But for right now, no one's scoring on us. And 20 minutes and it's only 1-0. I think they're doing a good job.
Well, and you talk about points are critical. And a tie generates a point. So those that don't know, in league play, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and nothing for a loss. So sometimes knowing who you are and knowing, okay, well, this year we don't have the offensive talent, let's play for some of those 1-0 wins or those 0-0 draws. Let's get points, and those ever-critical points, especially in region and in the seedings, are so important. So, yeah, good strategy by the coaches. Turnover at midfield again, and just good defense. Just stripped her clean, but it does go out of bounds. Well, today's game is brought to us by Ashley Regional. Ashley Regional, where you can receive quality orthopedic services. You can also visit ashleyregional.com, where you can find healthy recipes, information on medications you might be taking. Look up diseases, find out symptoms, and my favorite part, Jared, watch videos of surgical procedures.
I didn't know that.
I wonder if they pay these guys. You're gonna be a surgical procedure star. Do you mind if we put your ACL repair surgery back on the internet?
Your gallbladder.
Gallbladder. Yeah.
Taking it out.
I'll have to go see what kind of surgical
procedures are being filmed.
Yeah. I'd like to see some of those where you have 13 screws and a plate. Those might be interesting. Gallbladder, maybe not so much.
You see those x-rays of the screw, and you're just like, oh my goodness, that is in your bone? You're kidding me.
You're carrying that extra baggage around? Good pressure by the Utes on the offensive side. Ball set up the side. Been a fairly clean played game. And here's
Riley Putnam, senior.
Oh, wow. Did you see her hit that with the outside of her right foot? But again, well played by the keeper. It struck right at her, made it easy. But the Utes continue to maintain pressure. And the ball plays forward. And Jared, we're going to see this again and again. Here's that counterattack by the Union Cougars. And that ball, the only thing they haven't done well is that ball is being placed too deep. And they need to take some angles with that ball so it doesn't run right into the keeper box.
You get that one forward up there. You get that one forward up there, and if they've got some speed, those opportunities, those quick transitions, a lot of times they have good opportunities because they catch the other defense off guard because they are not down there playing the game typically for a long period of time.
Yeah, they've got the energy. We haven't seen a whole lot of substitutions, none at this point, with 15 minutes left here in the period, so 25 minutes have gone by. But that's one of the things in soccer. You've got to be conditioned. We've got another dangerous opportunity for the Utes right in the middle of the box. And then well defended. Oh, and then just taken out. And, there's a call there.
Riley Putnam taking out the Union player. You've got to allow them to receive the ball and do something and not just take it out.
You'll see on the replay, it wasn't malicious, but she just comes into her space and then takes her out with a shoulder check. And you're right, they have to have the opportunity to not be impeded if you're not playing the ball.
Right.
And there was no play on the ball.
There's the Union football team. I don't know if you saw that quick glimpse of them, but they are in force.
Well, they filled up all of the bleachers here at the Cougars' home field. And I think they're enjoying themselves. They seem to know when to cheer, and they're understanding when the chances present themselves. Here's a shot from the left side. It goes clear over the bar.
It's like Lindsey Benyon. I believe it's Lindsey Benyon on that left forward position.
Today's game brought to us by Moon Lake Electric, in operation since 1938, owned by the people they serve. Moon Lake is a cooperative, not privately owned. I want to thank all of our partners bringing these productions to you. It's now a sponsorship that covers all of the high school sports, soccer, basketball, and football. And talking to Dale down at VTV, he thought about changing his name to VSPN, to Vernal Sports Network, but he decided there's other worthwhile things to cover as well. But
No, we have to do that. VSPN, I love that.
Yeah, we'll see if the sponsors will get on board and make it a possibility. And there's so much going on in local sports. So much of the programs are strong this year, and I know the Uintah track team is impressive this year. They've been first in 2 of the last 3 meets for the cross country.
For cross country, you know, they are fairly strong this year, and they've had good times. Like, their times are much better than they were last year as a whole for the team.
So they're competitive times. So it's not just one individual scoring well. All of the team is doing well. And of course, we were here last week for the annual Union Uintah football game, and boy, did the Cougars look good on that one. They stormed out to a 35-0 lead, and here comes the Utes on an offensive strike. Ball placed just a little too long, be a goal kick. Yeah, 35-0 lead at halftime. Oh, no, they call a corner here, Jared. Now, the corners are so dangerous, and I was talking to Coach John Nurden, the men's coach for Uintah Utes, and he was talking about corners. And, oh, nicely played by the keeper and cleared. But he said that only about 2.5% of the corner kicks generate a score. So it's a low percentage, but it's one of the most exciting plays in soccer because there's almost always a shot generated off the corner kick.
Well, and it's war inside that 18 when there's a corner kick going on. I mean, it's physical. It's impressive because the kids that understand and know what to do on that corner kick have good advantages if they'll do it.
Yeah, and you're right. It's war. Only somebody that stood in the middle of that scrum getting their feet stepped on and their legs cut out from underneath them when they jump up for a header and pushed, and every kind of craziness going on inside of that understands what you're talking about. You see Gary Redden, high school coach for Uintah, giving instructions.
Brittany Hansen is who was receiving that from Gary Redden. She plays a midfield position for the team.
You know, I didn't know until this year when we started talking about bringing VTV to the field to cover the sports that Gary Redden was the coach. In all aspects of Gary's life, he's slow and easy and laid back. Now I understand he has a lot of those same personalities, but he gets up for soccer. He's gets charged up and gets these girls excited, and they're playing a fun brand of soccer this year for sure.
You know, he loves those girls. He loves those girls a lot, and you see his wife Karen with her camera and taking pictures, going to the camp that they had this fall up on the mountain, cooking for them. I mean, they are great coaches.
And look how difficult the Cougars made it for Uintah to get a shot off in the box. So many white jerseys, all flocking to the ball, and although there was a couple of shots taken, both blocked at the point of the shot and never did get through the defensive set.
Yeah, I think Union's doing a great job. I mean, their tactical side of their system of play that they're bringing with just packing the defense in, it's serving them well right now.
Another foul awarded, free kick to the Cougars. And the Utes being a little more aggressive with their body checks. And here we have, this is a good look for the Cougars. Oh, but well defended by the center back for the Utes. And there is a battle for the possession here at midfield.
Look at the number of red players compared to the number of white players on your screen right here.
Yeah.
You know, Union is outnumbered there. Got another call for...
Yeah, another call in favor of the Cougars. And the aggression of the Utes in this case giving free kicks. Here on the replay, you'll see. Ooh, and that just looks like a 50-50 ball, and one player happened to keep her balance, and the other player didn't. But you'll never see anyone on the Cougar side of the ball complain when they get a free kick.
You know, a lot of times referees will watch who falls down. If you fall down, you're going to get a call for you, and sometimes it's warranted, and sometimes it's good acting, but definitely something.
Ooh, and look at that ball, well placed here. And 2 to beat. She crosses it in the middle then with the left foot. Not enough on it. Ooh, Jared, and almost another squibbler coming into the right corner of the net.
You know, senior Jamie Sprouse, great ball control there. Took it to the middle. Had a good left shot. It looked like Lindsey Benyon on the outside came in, received it, tried to get that off. Was really close to a goal there.
Ball being placed back up, and you see the slow tempo of the defense to just let her bring it into about the 18. Shot! Ooh, dangerous shot too.
Union has got to stop that. You can't allow somebody to dribble the ball 6-8 times right down the middle of the field without slowing them up or making them change direction.
You see the Union head coach coming up, and that's a set of pipes. I could hear from here from the ambient noise. She's, you know, a good 90 yards away from her charges, trying to describe, I think, exactly what you were saying. So 7 minutes left here in the first period. Union with another goal kick. Today's game is brought to you by Pilot Logistics. Western Petroleum may have a new name, but we are still the same great company you can rely on. And, Jared, I did it again. I looked down for a half second and missed one of the attacks by the Cougars.
You know, that was a good opportunity for the Cougars. The Uintah keeper came so far out of her box, and they came to the ball almost at the exact same time. If there would have been a little bit of a collision or something, you know, if the Union player would have got there, that would have been a goal for Union.
Yeah, it's just a one-touch around, and then off you go. And I don't know what the whistle's for. We're going to wait to see here. Maybe an offsides? Or was there a foul about the middle third there? Either way, it goes to Union for another free kick. Yeah, and that's been the story so far of the counterattacks for the Cougars. That ball's touched just a little bit long, and no angle to it, so it's going straight at the keeper. But dangerous play, and I look down at the sponsor sheet for half a second and miss it.
Gotta love the game.
Ooh. And there you see, that's where when you have four deep on the defensive line, when one gets beat, another one can come up and challenge that ball and clear it. And with the short passes, and the Utes seem to know where all the passes go. Cross to the middle, but well played. Boy, she's been a force. Is that number 1 for the Cougars? I can't tell from the screen. But she's disrupted so many plays and been in there. Kind of a 1-2 punch between her and the keeper. Seem to be in the right spots at the right time. So another corner opportunity for the Utes.
Whitney Smith is a senior that's kicking the ball right here. She's been substituted in. Looks like getting some playing time now as a senior.
Ball chipped from about 40. Oh, my goodness, she almost put it in.
Courtney Webb as a defender who just shot that ball for Uintah. Well outside.
Yeah, and she's 40 yards out. She chips it up, and the save of the match so far by the Union keeper jumps up and meets it at the highest point and punches it out of bounds. And Jared, that's how they coach it. You ball your fist up and you punch it out.
Yeah, that was perfect play by the goalkeeper there for
now,
Union.
Did I see that right? There was a goal kick right there. Did I? That should have been a corner.
So maybe it bounced off the crossbar instead of her
maybe it
punching
did.
it out.
Okay, yeah. And watching the replay, I should have been able to see that hit the crossbar. Oh! If you're gonna score, you might as well be lucky. And there's a cross by number 21. Is that Putnam?
Yes.
And she hits a ball off of her right foot right here. It hits the back of her teammate, number 10.
Casey Christopherson.
Casey Christopherson. And those two have been a 1-2 punch their whole life growing up with, be it whatever sport they're playing. And who gets the goal in that case?
Casey.
Casey gets it. She's the last one to touch it.
She's the last one to touch
So
it.
she better go thank Putnam for the easiest goal she's ever going to score. She was ducking and covering, and it bounces right off the number 10 and in. And
that was funny. So both goals have been difficult for Uintah to get on this. I mean, Union is not allowing them to just go down and shoot. They're taking care of it. Both goals have been deflected off of someone else's quick shot.
So Putnam to Christopherson. Christopherson gets, again, perhaps the easiest goal she's ever going to score in her life. She didn't even intend to score it, but off her back it goes. So with the 37th minute with the back, is that how we describe that goal? And multiple opportunities for the Utes to turn to a 2-0 lead. 2:37 left here in the first period.
You know, I don't know much about the Union team. A few years ago, I knew several of them that played with Octane, and I could have told you.
Oh! And it hits the post, and then following it, looks like number 2 for the Utes.
Whitney Smith, senior Whitney Smith.
It's just a rare mistake by the Union keeper. She's slow to get up.
Here's
Ball kicked from about 40 yards out, and she misses. Slides, hits the post. Whitney Smith with the follow. And when you're a striker, it's about being in the right place. If you're in the right place, sometimes good things happen. Unfortunate for the Cougars, hit the post. But Whitney in the right place at the right time and just cleans house on that, knocks it in.
You know, you always love that player that is willing to go all the way down to the goal line every single time, just in case that might happen. And it looked like Whitney, I mean, she was right there. She was easily able to just knock that right in because she had done all the work prior to get down there and stay down there.
50 runs a game to have that one opportunity. And you have to remember all 49 times when you're running back, okay, the next time, maybe the next time, maybe the next time. And it paid off certainly there. And so here at the late in the first half, a quick spurt of goals to make it 3-0 for the Utes, and attacking still with 1 minute left. Now there may be some injury time, possibly. There wasn't a lot of whistles, 3 or 4 penalty kicks, so it may end right at the 40th minute, or we may go into extra time, as determined by the referee. Boy, and I don't know, Jared. And the keeper's slow to get up after missing on that shot. Either she's tired or that last run, and we saw her come up a little bit slow. The Union keeper is going to look forward to this rest she'll get at the half time.
Yeah, she was very close to that post when that ball came off of it, and I don't know if maybe a finger or something hit that post, and so she's hurting. Not sure.
Little bit gimpy. The cross by Uintah, well played.
And she's right there to get that one, though.
Goodness. We ought to invite some of these kids from Union to come in here, and they're passionate out there. We got the ambient mic right over the top of them. And they didn't like that. I think the crowd got that call, because it wasn't until they all went crazy. Nope, that's the whistle for the halftime. So halftime here on VTV Channel 6, the Utes up 3-0. A little bit of what we expected, but we saw that counterattack from Union. This game's far from over. A couple of balls that are a little bit softer played, and anything can happen in the second half. So 3-0 halftime. We're going to take a break, hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be back at the start of the second period.
Tired of fast food insurance plans? the Advisor Group, we specialize in financial planning, retirement, life, health benefits, home, auto, and commercial insurance. We are your one-stop firm that delivers the solution for your personal and professional needs. The Advisor Group. Service you will recognize.
What do you expect from your healthcare? A physician you can trust. An up-to-date facility with a friendly staff. Compassionate nurses. Healthcare professionals who will do their very best every day to keep you and your family healthy. At Ashley Regional Medical Center, this is our mission because this is our community and our hospital.
Are you a busy mom like me with so little time, juggling so many different things that getting your oil changed is the last thing on your mind? You won't believe this. Head to L&L Express Lane. You don't need an appointment. There's a place for your kids to play, and you can use an iPad with Wi-Fi while you wait. And here's the best part. It's all done under 30 minutes or less. Come and see us at L&L's Express Lane. People you know. People who care.
Moon Lake Electric has been a staple in the basin for 75 years. And though many things have changed through the years, one thing stays the same: our dedication to keeping the power on and our priority of doing that safely. We now have a Facebook page, which can be accessed through our website, allowing you to receive energy tips, outage reports, personnel changes, and feedback. Moon Lake Electric thanks its members and employees for 75 years of keeping the power on.
Western Petroleum may have changed their name to Pilot Logistics, but the employees that you have always counted on locally are still the ones here now. Pilot Logistics continues to provide the Uintah Basin with cardlock services, bulk fuels, lubes, and oils, just as they did when they were Western Petroleum. Call 789-1832 for information about the services offered by Pilot Logistics. Western Petroleum would like to thank all of their valued customers for the many years of providing services here in the Uintah Basin and look forward to serving you in the future as Pilot Logistics.
Live coverage is presented by L&L Motor, Ashley Regional, The Advisor Group, Moon Lake Electric, Pilot Logistics, and Strata Networks.
Well, welcome back. We're about to start the second period, and we have the highlights from the first period. And in this case, where the score's 3-0, it's going to be mostly Uintah. You see the hard strike into the box. Well played, and here's the one touch into the goal, and it wasn't a hard shot, Jared, but just perfectly touched into the corner, and then a strike over the top by the Uintah players. Here's the volley that went off the crossbar by Courtney Webb, and then we see the Putnam to Christofferson. Putnam with a nice hard strike, Christofferson off the back, then the long shot by Brittany Hansen off the sidebar. Whitney Smith running like the coach says, following the ball, and she gets the easy touch in. And that's how you do it and make a 3-0 lead at halftime. And the Utes, after the switch of fields, quickly back on the offensive side. There are two lines there. The first line is out of bounds.
White ball. Here we go.
So we saw out there at halftime it seems like the whole football team and every male from Union here to support the girls.
What a great thing for the football team to say, you know what, let's take practice off a little bit and let these guys go support the girls team. Love that kind of commitment.
And even better, we got the numbers from the football players. They knew every single one of the girls that was out there. And so now as announcers, we now have the numbers for and names for the Union players where we weren't able to procure a roster prior to the game. And so far, the person of the match, Navy Nielsen, the keeper, and that's kind of a cool name, Navy Nielsen, holding down the ship in the backfield there.
Great.
But she played a great game. And, you know, the keeper always feels bad every time a shot goes in the box. But without her savvy in the box, it could have easily been a higher score for Uintah. Well played first half. And here comes the counter strike for the Cougars. Got one to beat. She gets to the outside. Can she get a touch on it? No. Well played by number 4.
Britton Haslam for Uintah.
Britton Haslam.
I wish I could see the numbers from the Union players on their shirts. It's just they're yellow on a white shirt, and it's really hard to see who those players are.
Yellow on a white shirt, and where we had to call the game from inside the booth due to weather, and it turns out that we didn't necessarily need that. And there was the close-up shot here on the high definition. You can see it very well.
Union coming out strong this half, Mark. I mean, they've had 2 good runs right off the bat. Deep down into the territory.
We've got danger for the Cougars. We've got an outside runner on the far post, and that ball goes shallow right to the keeper. A little more depth with that ball, and she might have caught the runner coming from the outside. But well played by Navy, and then cleared quickly. And then the Cougars, and you're right, much more attack-minded here in the opening minutes of the second period, putting pressure on the defensive players. And that makes it difficult as a defender. You're not used to controlling the ball in tight quarters as much as an offensive player. And there's more pressure on that too if you make a mistake. Then it's mano a mano with the keeper. You never want to have a situation like that.
Number 5, Katie Ross for Union, doing a great job running down that ball down the sideline so to prevent, looks like number...
Oh, no, a turnover right there in the box. Shot and off the crossbar. And Christopherson's she had an opportunity there, and she hit the ball hard, but I always say, Jared, the post is not your friend. And she hit the top post and rebounded out. Wow. The Cougars dodge a bullet there. Well, Katie Ross plays point guard for the girls' basketball team, and she's a destructive force on the basketball court. Quick, and can about pick her spot. Gets anywhere she wants with the ball in her hands.
Right there, you can see her on the screen there. Number 5, I believe she's the right defender for Union there.
Ball cleared, but handled by the Utes. And again, on the prep level, to see the maturity to play backwards with the ball so you can maintain that possession. And using all the open spaces on the field where the defenders aren't here.
I'm trying to find what Union has changed. They still look like they have the sole offensive player up front, but you know, they've come out with a lot more intensity, and maybe that's just what it is the intensity level of Union has increased a bunch.
And we haven't seen the Utes dominating, you know, on that upper third like we have before, so we're not sure if they're playing with one more midfielder or if it's still the same philosophy with four back or what the situation may be. But here's an unchecked run in the midfield, played right to a Union defender. Union controls and clears, and the touch there just a little bit off, so it turns into a turnover. Turnover's going both ways here, Jared.
Good fighting for the ball.
Yeah, good battle, clean battle, both of them keeping their arms down. Now there's a whistle, go Union's ball. Today's game brought to us by L&L Motor. Become a fan of L&L Motor and like L&L Motor on Facebook to be entered into one of their drawings. I also want to remind everyone that the replay coverage is brought to you by L&L Motor. People you know, people who care. Another turnover. Cougars coming back, setting up their offense.
Good clear by Courtney Webb.
And we've got trouble. Christopherson just like a blaze of lightning out, controls the ball, sets it up in the midfield. And look at the defender for the Cougars. Oh, and well played. Oh, unfortunately mishandled, so there'd be a corner opportunity for the Utes. But the defender Was it Ross that came up? No, it was number 4 for the Cougars. Number 4 is
Addie Southam.
Addie Southam. And I think Addie's the one that I kept highlighting in the first half, that center back that's doing so much destruction. And unfortunately, the keeper, Navy, was not able to handle the ball. And Christopherson with a chance from the outside. Oh! And that's the conditions on the turf that caused that score.
Skipped on the wet grass, just slipped right underneath Navy
Nielsen, but Christopherson with a hard shot low, and then it skips off the grass, doesn't have the normal bounce, and Christopherson with her second goal of the game. And Navy Nielsen did everything right, but just didn't judge the skip right. And with the wet turf, there you have it. Christopherson having a great game, second shot of the game, second score of the game for her. And, you know, that's one of the things you can't allow. You can't allow a gifted offensive player to have the ball controlled out at about the 18 and have an open shot. Somebody needs to challenge. And the Utes having a hard time clearing. Look how many offensive players
5
up.
offensive players for Union there. That is what is causing the pain right now for Uintah to try and stop all 5 of those players.
And I like that switch from the coach. You're down 3-0. You no longer can pack back. Now you've got to, you know, to have any chance of winning, you got to bring them up. And so you see a philosophical change at halftime, and it's creating a lot more opportunities. But then the counterattacks are coming from the Utes, quick and hard right there. But Navy played that one well, comes and clears. Ball played to the outside. And look at the run. Who's that, number 25 for the Utes?
Courtney Webb with the great run out the outside. You know, Uintah seems like they're saying, you know what, let's get the ball to the outside. Let's get to the ball to the outside and provide those opportunities that come when you take it to the outside.
And it takes all of those runs. You have to run and run and run. And Webb played the ball to the center fielder, and then she made a run right past. And so many times they want to do that long ball so they pass and run away. But in that case, she's passing and running in the direction the ball went and then just ran past the ball, quick touch to the outside. Didn't turn into anything, but it was a pretty run. Christopherson sees something and gets it through, and this is an opportunity for the Utes down on the baseline. Turned back around. She's going to replay and reset. Didn't think she had much of an opportunity. Center back for Union falls down. Long shot, maybe an ill-advised shot from that distance.
It was quite a ways out there. I'm trying to see if that was the defensive right defender that was trying to take that shot.
Yeah, you take that very long shot, and sometimes they'll pay off, but more often than not, you get into a situation turnover, and Union has the ball on the goal kick. Well, today's game is brought to us by the Advisor Group. Financial planning, benefit packages, insurance or retirement plans, we have a specialized team to help meet your needs. We are the firm of firms, the Advisor Group. Well, 10 minutes have gone off the second period. The running clock in soccer, it makes the games go by quickly, but the action never stops. Ball played up, and look at the touch on that ball. It just dies, and oh, just well played by the defender, but no, number 9 for the Utes recovers. Ball crossed. Keeper well played. We had Christopherson in a dangerous position, and then did you see the late run of number 17? That was Lindsay Benyon coming on the late run on the far post. Gary has the Charges doing the things they need to do to be in position to score. And we see more of the controlled offense here from the Utes now settled down after that initial.
Brittany Hansen with a great shot.
Boy, they're just shooting for that upper V from about 25 yards out, aren't they?
Seems like they're getting a lot of those opportunities right in the center of the field. I don't know. I'll have to watch that and see why that seems like it's an open area for them.
Yeah, you know, between 5 and 10 yards off the penalty box, it seems like they're unchecked, and they're having a lot of cross opportunities and a lot of these deep shots. And it could be that the defenders are are kind of settling their heels, not wanting to make a commitment, but and get beat on the dribble. But it does open up those long shots as well.
Uintah is playing a very good formation. The forwards aren't clear back playing in the midfield position. Midfielders are staying, equal distance between the defense and the forwards. And I think that's why they're controlling the possession of the game a little bit more, is because they're maintaining all of the positions on the field.
Yeah, and they put that ball into the open space. They're not trying to hit necessarily the other player's feet. There are instances like that, but there's other balls that are trying to go out in the odd open space.
Kylie Larson with some nice quick moves there to get around those two Union players, but
cleared by the Union defender. Back to Union in the midfield, and there's a turnover. You always have those turnovers when everyone's running up. Oh, and look at that ball, well placed to the baseline, shot, and well played. Woo! Navy 2 hands and does what she's coached. Get up strong and firm and knock the ball out of bounds. And look at that ball deep, out, and it's a double rebound off the keeper, off the bar.
I can't say enough about Navy Nilsson right now. Her technique and her skill is so good. She was right there on the post.
Yep.
She knew that it wasn't going to sneak by her there. Had both hands up. Great technique by Navy Nilsson.
Oh, wow, what a beautiful strike. I think that might have been
Brittany Hansen.
Brittany Hansen, and I believe that's Brittany Hansen had the earlier assist.
Maybe not.
But look at the corner kick, ball up in the air into the scrum. She just comes in and makes the run and then hits it with her right foot and knocks it in.
Maybe it was Lindsay Benyon, maybe.
17 and that's Lindsay Benyon, and who else was it that was right there? It was Brittany Hansen. Number 8. They were both there, and hard to tell in the replay exactly who hit it. But that's just one of those timed run. The ball's up in the air. She didn't run too early. Came in. The ball drops over the head of the defender, knocks it in. 5-0 for the Utes, and it was number 8 that scored that ball, Brittany Hansen. And it was a well-timed run in her case. And then also it's so difficult to catch that ball on a one-time out of the air and hit those volleys low and hard like that. So many times when you hit that volley and out of the air, you're sending it right back to where it came from.
Yeah.
We have the old the Houston we have liftoff problem, and it goes, you can be 2 yards out of the box and have it go over the top post, but well struck down low, and Navy Nilsson never had a chance at it. And that's a marking problem. You got to stay with the person you're marking all the way through the play. You can't let them have a free run in the box.
We tell the players that inside the 18, especially on corner kicks and free kicks, you are man-to-man in that position, and you cannot allow them to get between you and the goalie.
Physical battle, then cross deep, and we have a runner. There's no flag in the air. Nielsen with a quick run, but she's out of position. Ball's crossed, and nobody at the post.
Lindsay Benyon with a birthday present right in front of her, and tried to make that shot.
Yeah, and Christopherson came in, and if she had been maybe a yard deeper, she could have had a hat trick on the day, but she wasn't able to get to it. And like you say, Benyon trying to bend it and catch that, the outside corner, and wasn't able to get enough bend on it. And that's 2 opportunities, basically point blank with the keeper out of the box that the Utes have had and missed. But with up 5-0. They're not going to lament too many of these chances, most likely. Ball sent to the deep corner. And these balls have been well placed. They die before they get to the line, so the touch has been beautiful by the Utes on a lot of these deeper balls. Stolen here by the Cougars.
Well, Lindsay working hard against 3 of the Union players there, but they prevailed.
And there's a charge here, play on the ground. Boy, referee's content to let him go. Sometimes you'll see, and then cleared finally by the Cougars.
Number 3, Kylie Larson, plays hockey for Uintah. right there, as you see her on your screen, and so she's not afraid to have a little bump here and there.
Yeah, in fact, they're encouraged in hockey. Today's game is brought to us by Strata Networks. Strata is the leading telecommunications provider in the Uintah Basin, providing advanced wireless broadband and video services. I also want to remind you that today's live stream is powered by Strata Networks. Cross shot off the post. Putnam with a hard strike. No, excuse me, that was not Putnam. That was Brittany Hansen. Wow, that was a beautiful shot. And again, the post not being friendly to the Utes today had several strikes come hard off the post.
You know, Randy Kellogg had a great, she had an opportunity. You'll see this here.
Yeah, watch the LNL.
Drops it.
Oh, the LNL motor replay shows what we saw. What a beautiful play backwards. She struck that ball backwards knowing that Benyon was coming in hot. Woo! And now the Utes are just unloading. They're shooting from any distance, it seems like here. And right now, number 25 for the Utes is just a bruiser, Courtney Webb, battling for every ball in the midfield.
There she is again. Oh.
Needs to be a handball, and it is.
Unlucky there, had her hands up, and it just hit her elbow and arm, but that's a
Yep, the handball is what made the control as well, so well called. Let's see, she runs in, has her hands up high. Oop, whoop. Easy call, referee, about 10 feet away. Control, we'd like to see some counterattack, ball kicked out of bounds, and then quickly, before the Utes can set up, but we have a substitution. Well, when you have this many young players starting and getting meaningful minutes, you know, and I haven't looked at the ages on the roster. Do you bring even younger players into the games in situations like this, or you try to get some of the seniors that might not be getting as many minutes? How does this played? And this being the first game of the year, we're not as familiar with the rosters as we're going to be towards the end of the year. But
you know, I know that on Uintah's team, obviously a lot of sophomores playing the game right now that make up the varsity team, and they have a JV game afterwards, and so a lot of those freshmen are going to be playing
80 minutes then.
So 80 minutes there. So I think you'll probably see.
Ooh, cross, Benyon. Nope.
Ball still loose.
Ball still loose, played by Navy, and that's the way that you're taught to do it. If you cannot make a clean catch on it, strike the ball with your hands and then let your backs clear it. But the ball's bouncing around in the 18, and there was more red than white in that case. Ross clean. Steals it, but then loses it right back. Well, at the 20th minute, I want to thank Ashley Regional for bringing us today's game. Ashley Regional has neurology services in Vernal. Dr. Thomas Buchanan, board-certified neurologist, will be seeing patients in Vernal and Roosevelt. Call 789-1820 for appointments. Boy, they're making Nielsen work hard there, and she's deep on her own line, making diving save after diving save.
You know, the Union players are not making it easy right now for Navy, because every ball that she has to kick out, Uintah is the one that's receiving that 50-50 ball. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, a misplayed ball back to the keeper, kind of dies on the grass. And fortunately for Uintah, the keeper was aware, because we had two forwards for Union charging in, and if she had been caught napping, which sometimes is the case when you don't have a very active game, could have been a nice opportunity. Oh, nice hard cross. Goes through. No one there to receive it except for the Union defense. Can't see the
number for the Union player that shut that down, huh? Looks like 28, maybe?
It's number 19, and we need to call her name. It's Kinley McCook, and she's had a heck of a game, you know, and handling a lot of the pressure which come up the right side of the Ute offense. And it was able to clear there, but it turns into a corner opportunity for the Utes. Ball sent through, touched in the air, high. Nielsen with the catch. And Nielsen's been setting that ball up a little early, and they're not at, oh, look at the battle going on at midfield. Union maintains possession, then a misplayed ball. Utes taking up slow patience. Sometimes you'll see the keeper come up quickly like Navy, but then allow her team to recover so that there's more to receive that ball as she kicks it up.
Having a little bit more patience so that it's allowed to.
Benyon with another cross. Oh, and just a little too deep. Did you see the run there made by Whitney Smith? Coming in from the far side, and she came up from about 40 yards deep when she initially started that run. You won't see her coming, but streaking out up here, and just a little too deep. Ooh. Those balls are scary. They're just trickling across right behind the defender's feet. They can't get to it. The keeper can't get up.
Uintah doing a great job. Every goal kick that is kicked by Navy Nielsen from Union, Uintah is stopping and heading back right at her.
Yeah, immediate pressure back. She has to be kicking and then immediately retreating back into her box, getting on her line. And there's a hard shot. Oh, did you see the save by Navy Benyon? Unbelievable. She plays the second shot equally well. But if we can see on the NL Motor replay, look at this shot, just a hard left. And Navy Nielsen with a diving two-handed punch save. And she covers her post, and there's no angle for the Ute offense to shoot on. They clear it over the top of the box. Wow. That's inspired keeper play right there. Turnover. Another shot. Nielsen easily covers that one.
With good hands, no problem, I've got it. She's a good keeper.
Not a lot of pressure from the center fielders for Union.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Run on.
The Cougar Crazies. I got caught listening there. We heard the here you go, and then the collective groan as the ball was turned over. But yeah, I think they understand the game of soccer. They're cheering when the opportunities are presenting themselves. We're gonna give the 12th Man of the Year award so far to the Cougar Crazies, coming out to support these girls today. Maintaining active even with the score a little lopsided. Oh, nice catch by Benyon. She's got the left. Ooh.
Tries for that upper V.
She sure did.
Hit the side net.
And that was a beautifully struck ball. So many times with that left foot, you're going to see a ball curve and come, up instead of, and she hit a straight knuckleball. The upper V only missed by about a yard. Ooh, that's a hard shot.
She had some good dribbling there, too. I mean, she had to dribble away from the pressure there and then took it with her left foot.
Yeah, and a hard strike with the left foot. Not having watched her play before, maybe she's natural lefty. But as is so often the case, that's not true. Navy Nielsen, that shot looked closer than it was. Had it been tighter, Navy would have blocked it. She had the dive and was in the right position here on the LNL Motor
Jamie
replay.
Smewen taking that, or Jamie Sprouse taking that outside the 18 shot, just right outside the post.
The Utes are striking the ball hard from all areas of the field, and the keeper's going to be tired after this one. Here's a ball brought up. It's played back to the middle. Another hard strike. Oh, another ball off the post for the Utes. And then a return. Missed wide to the left. Oh.
Three. I've seen three off just the top bar alone.
Off the top bar, we had the one off the sidebar that ended up a rebound and replayed in. But Nielsen active. Oh, I tell you what, everybody on the Union side, heart rate got thrown off there. Ball hits the post. Rebound, kicked wide. The Cougars dodge a bullet.
Great strike by Kylie Larson for Uintah there.
Today's game brought to us by Moon Lake Electric, in operation since 1938, providing power to the people they serve. Moon Lake is owned by the people they serve as a cooperative, not privately owned. I want to thank all our partners for helping us take all the action to you. I want to remind you there's 3 more girls soccer games coming. We'll have, and that ball is squirting through. And look how far out of the box the keeper's playing. Jared, that's a very dangerous position to play, especially when it's almost 2/3 of both teams are in that third of the field.
It's really gutsy, and they want to be a part of the game, and in this game so far, this goalie's not touched the ball too many times, and so she's taking all these opportunities. I guess you've got to decide, okay, do I want the goose egg, or do I want to touch the ball a little bit more? That was risky right there, I felt.
Well, as a keeper, you always want the shutout to your record. The wins and losses go to the team, the shutouts go to the keeper. And so you don't want to mess with that. It's kind of like having a no-no going into the 8th inning as a pitcher. You don't want to mess that up. But perhaps that's her style of play. We're going to find out as we have 3 more games to cover for Union. We're going to have Morgan at Uintah. We're going to have the rematch, Uintah and Union, back in Vernal, and then we'll have the last game will be Morgan versus Union back here. So we're going to get used to these girls' style of play, but always a dangerous proposition when you come that far out of the box. Anything bad happens, and all they have to do is lob a shot back at the box, and that's a free score. So, but yeah, it'd be fun to get used to how these girls play and see them. I think the Morgan matchup, that's an in-region matchup, and both teams fared fairly well against Morgan last year, so it'd be fun to see those 2 games. Nielsen with another nice play on the ball. Ball played a little too deep. Gets all the way up to the edge of her line. Gets it over. And here we go. We got the Cougars with an excellent opportunity. Got one to beat. She's got to beat one, and then she's got runners coming on the outside. Ball played just a little too shallow. Well played by the Ute defense. Cleared to the outside. Out of bounds.
Looks like some substitutions for Uintah. I saw number 14, Brianna Rich, sophomore number 14, Brianna Rich, and then also number 22, sophomore Annabelle Rode, just in that quick screen there. So it looks like the Uintah's thrown in some of those extra players that are needing some varsity time.
I didn't see the number of the player for Union that was coming up on the fast run, but she came up so fast, Jared, that she outpaced the runners on the left side. So she only had one play, which was to try to set up a shot right there from the right side of the penalty box. And it looks like it might have been number 18, Mikkel Goodrich, with a deep run, but she came up so fast. The supporting side on the side wasn't there, and the halfbacks weren't behind her to support her. So dangerous ball bouncing on the turf here for the Cougars. They finally were able to control and clear, but the fullbacks for Uintah recover. Good touch there.
Nice.
Look at that
touches.
ball. Oh, wow. She's got an opportunity. She's coming up. And we've called her number before.
Is it 13 that I can see there?
Yeah, it was number 13 for that's Rachel Miller, but it was number 25 for the Utes that came up and disrupted the run, Courtney Webb. Ball up on the top of the 18, dangerous for the Utes. And you see no one in the midfield for either team. Ball played a little too deep.
Look at that Whitney Smith making that run all the way down to the goalie until she knows there's no way it's coming out of her hands.
Some exciting counterattacks by the Cougars with 8:35 left. I'd like to see them mount something, get a goal on the boards. build some confidence for the next game. Ball comes through. Nielsen picks it up. Line drive kick. Not very many white jerseys in the middle of the field to receive it. Swarmed by the Utes. Coming back. Good pressure. Who was that on the outside for the Cougars that came up and pressured that ball? Flag goes up. That's going to be offsides. Benyon on the offsides. More unfortunate. She was actually coming back up, and the ball just was kicked and rebounded. It rebounded into her offsides position. So today's game brought to us by Pilot Logistics. Pilot Logistics. Western Petroleum may have a new name, but still the same great company you can rely on. Pilot Logistics helping support VTV Channel 6 in coverage of Uintah Basin High School soccer action. Oh, another charge from the
Lindsey Benyon with a little bit of a push there. Saw her arm extend out and knock the Union player down. Number 4, was that Addie? Nope. Yep. Number 4, Caitlin Southam on that.
On the L&L Motor replay. Oh, ball played in the middle, but again, the center back for the Cougars. Is that number 4? Is that who decided
yes,
that
number
was?
4, Addie Southam.
Addie Southam, and she's done a lot of good things. The relentless pressure on the Utes, finally overcoming well, you know, again, 2 of the goals more fortunate than actual. You know, I guess if you're shooting on goal, it's you know, good things can happen. If you don't kick the ball in that direction, it's not going to bounce off someone's back to go in. So it's not all luck. You know, it's a luck combined with skill and pressure. But in those cases, the ball took a favorable unibounce. So they're doing good things on the defensive side. Christofferson with a cross, too deep.
You know, as you try to get your players to make those crosses, you want to get that cross to happen just outside the 6, you know, like the 8 to 10 yard line. Make that goalie decide, do I got to go out and try and punch that ball out, or do I stay in my box and try and deal with the ball coming to you there?
Yeah, it's important to get the goalie off the line. Bring her off that line, because then that ball starts bouncing around. She's not there for a rebound, you know, to block a rebound, you know, and a lot of times they will punch that out, but still, when those rebounds start happening, here's another cross, and that one gets through, but in that case, no Ute player back to receive on the far side. Kylie Larson was the closest, and she was late to the action. .506 left here.
You know, the field's got to be drying up. It hasn't rained yet during the game, and so the field with all the running and that on it has got to be drying up a little bit. Noticing that the ball's not skipping anymore.
Yeah, we saw the one goal where the ball skipped just crazy. I mean, that ball hit and ran, you know, expected to come up 2 or 3 feet, and it didn't get a foot off the ground. Christofferson with another cross, well played. Number 4 for the Cougars. Whoa! Nielsen tested again. Look how dirty her jersey is. She's been on the ground often. And another gorgeous save by Nielsen. So we have to select players of the game. I think it'll be a little harder for the Utes, but I know who I would pick player of the game for the Cougars. Nielsen's playing lights out in the box. Ball well controlled. Short passes. Always trying to maintain that possession. Sent through! Ooh! Wow, so exciting you get those balls sent through like that.
Kind of a tough ball to receive. Elsha had 2 players, one on each side of her, but the ball made it through, and Union did a great job of cutting off Elsha's pass so that she couldn't continue on to the ball to get it. They were
couldn't make that touch, although she was within a couple of feet of the ball, sandwiched by the Union defenders. Here's a cross by the Cougars. Too deep, runs past the keeper out of bounds. Goal kick. Yeah, they always have somebody on the edge of that field. They're so close to the road. Any shot that goes over, out in the front yard of the people across the street. I believe, and I'm hoping, I'm not positive, the girls for Uintah with the coverage would be able to play on the turf in Vernal. And normally that would not be the case because it's football season, you know, and then the boys are out practicing on the turf. But with the television coverage, and we've worked with the high school administration, the next game you'll see will be on Uintah's turf, which is a gorgeous field. It's a little easier to play with there's white and yellow lines, and the yellow lines being the soccer lines, but for the camera, it's certainly those white lines jump out at you. Oh, look at the pressure here with the right foot. She got it through. It's unbelievable.
Jamie Sprouse had to work hard on that one, didn't she?
Wow, I didn't think she had a chance. She's getting pressure, and you'll see her receive that ball, and then with the outside of her right foot, she just takes a strike and hits the far left side of the net. On the L&L Motor replay, wow, Jared, that's just individual accomplishment right there.
I spoke to Jamie a couple of weeks ago. She was out watching the U13 girls game at the high school, and I told her, you got to start dribbling the ball more and go put that ball in the net. So she has the skill to do that and did it right there.
Sure enough, and that's just a well-touched ball, because with the right foot, if you hit it on the laces, it's going to curl out and go closer to the corner than the box, and she hits it on the outside of her foot and knocks it in. Another opportunity for the Utes, contributing, put pressure on the right side of that the defense. From the right side of the field, left side of the defense. And you see Navy Nielsen on the ground again, making sure she's covered that angle in case that ball was to curl back in.
You know, I'm going to give a plug for Putnam. She, as far as maybe a player of the game for Uintah, she obviously didn't score because the ball went off of Casey Christopherson's back. But I have seen her play today in this game.
Number 6! Wow, that's just another great cross. Hit the 8-yard line.
Christopherson to Elsha Lance.
Yeah, and Lance just making that run. You're going to see her coming up. Right there, she takes the run, sees the ball coming up, and you can't say to Navy Nielsen she did anything wrong there. She came up when she had to. Maybe plays the line, but that ball was so struck, even if she'd stayed with her heels on the line, she wouldn't be able to react fast enough on that.
I apologize. That was Brittany Hansen that made that assist, not Casey Christopherson.
Brittany Hansen,
to Elsha
who's
Lance.
had a couple of assists today. So you've got Putnam, you've got Hansen with the 2 assists, you've got Christopherson working on a hat trick right now. There's a lot of eligible players. Ball stolen, and then quick counter. We're on added time right now, and the Utes have got their foot on the gas.
Brittany Hansen is the center defenseman, saying, it's my turn to go score, and she's going.
Controlled, chipped, headed by Christopherson. Ball's going to roll out of bounds. We are in added time right now, folks. And only the referee knows exactly how much time is left. So, as we try to anticipate, 7-0 for Uintah. Just a dominant offensive performance. And seeing, you know, the comparison where Waterford was able to beat Union 6-0, we probably could have anticipated a high-scoring side for Uintah. But it didn't start until about 5 minutes left in the first period. So Union started strong, and some good work at the beginning of the first period with the counters. And there's the whistles, Jared. Well, we're going to go go take a look at the second half highlights here, and want to thank all of our sponsors. I'm going to give them all mentions. L&L Motor, the advisor group. Well, we go right to there's Christofferson with the hard shot, and you see that skip in the grass. That's the one we were referencing. Then the ball goes long. The one hard touch, but Nielsen with a nice save, two-handed punch out of bounds. And here we see ball up in the air, and we decided it was Brittany Hansen scored that. And then again, another hard strike against the post, and continuing the pressure. I thought that was the save of the game by Davey Nielsen. The diving save would have been a sure score, as the Utes continue to hit the post time and time again. And then with the nice outside touch, was that number 7? Was that
Sprouse?
That was Sprouse that hit that with the outside of her foot. Situational awareness, knew where she was in the box, hits it into the corner. And an exciting game for the Utes. The Cougars learned some lessons, and we'll see them strong when they come again next when we play over at Uintah. We're going to take a look at the schedule real quick for the rest of the high school girls soccer action. So Morgan at Uintah on the 18th. See us on the 25th. Union at Uintah for the rematch. And then we'll be back here in Roosevelt on the 30th for Morgan at Uintah. Girls soccer coverage here on VTV Channel 6.
At 7 p.m. I noticed that said that the games are at 7 p.m.
Excuse me. The games are at 3:30, even though it's set on the thing. 3:30. They'll be played on the turf. Thank all of our sponsors: L&L Motor with the replay, the Advisor Group, Strata Networks, Ashley Regional, Moon Lake Electric, and Pilot Logistics. The Utes win 7-0. We want to have special thanks go out to the high school administration and coaching staff for their coordination and helping us make this coverage possible. Remind everyone that DVD and Blu-ray copies of tonight's game are available. Go to VTVChannel6.com or call 781-1902 for your copy. Jared, before we go away, any last thoughts?
You know, I felt like Union did a really good job the first 30 minutes of the game. To be 1-0 there, knowing that, just as we had noticed, those scores from the preseason, you kind of know how things might go. The first 30 minutes of the game, I didn't think these were right. Union came out really well. They stopped a lot of those balls, and then gradually, you could see the dominance of Uintah with all of the shots there and there and there, coming offensively. You could tell that the Uintah team was just a little bit better there.
Yeah, a little bit more attack-minded, and in this case, they had, more talent. So 7-0. Thanks for tuning in here on VTV Channel 6. Have a good afternoon. We'll see you next week. Union at Uintah.
Live coverage is presented by L&L Motor, Ashley Regional, the Advisor Group, Moon Lake Electric, Pilot Logistics, and Strata Networks.